So today I'm going to show you how to make a collage for a Pinterest optimized image and then how to hide it. I was going to do screenshots, but then that was so much. So I'm just going to run through how to make a collage using PicMonkey. Um, if you don't use PicMonkey, it's okay. You can start now. It's free. So that's kind of nice. So, all right, here's PicMonkey. Go to the collage, click on that. Now, I've already pulled together my images that I'm going to use, and you can see I used some stock images, and I already set up which of the images I'm going to use. So I'm going to pull in the ones I want, which is this one that's called 2, this one that's called feature, this one that's called square. So those three are going to load up. And I'm also going to go ahead and open my border that I use in my collages to make that um, that pretty unique uh, item that makes it my own. Now you'll see down here I clicked the little lock button, so I unlock the proportions, and then I'm going to go over here and change this to 700 and leave this one at 2000. I like 2000, that's kind of my thing. And now I'm going to go in and bring my border in the center. I like it to be kind of in the center. Put my Facebook one that's kind of skinny, kind of underneath that. Drag my feature over, and then that one that we called square. All right. So now you can kind of see, there's a big thick border between each of them, and I don't really like that. So we're going to go over here to this little palette thing that comes up with background, and then we're going to click on it, and then come over here to spacing and pull that down to 5. I prefer 5. You can do whatever you want. You can drop it down to 0 or whatever. I mean, I'm not dictating to you your style. I'm just dictating to you how to do this. So come back to your pictures, just, so you're not confused. Adjust the height of everything that you want. I like my border little thing. That's kind of why I use it. Um, and I like it to all show up, obviously, because it's a border. And then I like my bottom one to kind of anchor everything and be really big. So there we go. That's kind of what I do. And then I come in here and make sure that all of my border is showing, because I'm really anal like that. So right there, everything's showing except for that one little part. There we go. And now you're going to click this button, Edit. And when you say Edit, tell it Open in Editor, and that's going to allow you to do your overlays. And I have a whole bunch of fonts that are already loaded onto my computer, and so I already kind of have a leg up there. That if you're using the free version, you'll want to upload those fonts to give yourself kind of those options, because PicMonkeys are kind of limited. So you're just going to come in and type your text and move it around. So this post is 10 ways to, just 10 sneaky ways to get unruly teens to behave. So we're just going to make that tiny. Because it's not really the important thing. The important thing is the get your teens to behave part. So we'll just kind of set up our structure here. And then I always, and I usually do it very first so that I don't forget, because like I almost did here, I always use my standard little watermark of sorts. Now, sorry, my computer's slow all of a sudden. I'm not really sure why. Don't normally have this problem. So I changed the font to 41 because I'm always consistent with that 41. I don't know why I picked that number. And then I always drop it in here so that it's clear and legible, and it's, I could put it on top of one of the other pictures, but, then what if I can't find a good place sometimes? So to just be consistent, it's always inside the border. So 10 sneaky ways to get unruly it's kind of time consuming, but I think it makes a big difference. I like the size of that guy, so whoop, duplicate him. You know, using the arrows kind of getting to come down and over a little bit. He was kind of almost the right thing, and then behave. There we go. That's kind of nice. So I think I might just run with that. I throw in an overlay underneath all of that to kind of make the whole thing pop, but I don't want the overlay to be a bold color. So I generally pick one of the colors that's in the photo and and then fade it back so that it's still in the same family, the same color family, but it's not exactly what's coming out of the picture. That way the pictures are still dominant, which is kind of the idea, is for the pictures to dominate in Pinterest. So here we go. Kind of zoom in to make sure that I fill that box as well as I can. Of course, I decided to go with a border that has not straight lines, so makes filling it a little difficult. But I just generally kind of come in here. It's not like, it has to be perfect, obviously, because if it was, then it wouldn't be me doing it. All right, now you're going to save it, and you're going to save it with something that, you feel about this that maybe goes with your post or whatever. So I love these tips on how to get teens to behave, especially number 10, kinda funny. So save it with your other photos. Now you're going to go in to your post. Come over here, and I already left placeholders. I always do that so that I don't forget one, because I've done that before. Just come in here and you're going to add your media, upload all your files. Come in here and get all your files that you're uploading, pull them all in. And then you're going to duplicate. You're just going to copy the titles that you used and pop them into your alt text, because that's handy. And that's one of the reasons why, for your Pinterest optimized image, you went ahead and did that weird long sentence, so that you can just copy and paste and not have to try to think on the fly about your alt text. So that's in there, right? It's in very first, before any text. You see, it's already in there. And that means that, I'll show you the trick, but that means whenever somebody uses the pin it button, it auto pops up as the very first image. So then you're going to come in here to text, and you're going to type in before the image. All this text is describing the image from this A down here all the way to this A up here. So before it, you're going to type div style equals quote display colon none semicolon in quotes end caret, and then down here at this A at the end, you're going to close that div statement. So now you come back in here and you see it's gone, but it's still in there. So go ahead and drop in your other images, because I should have done that before you guys were in place, but it happens. There's my Facebook. Pulling my feature over here. And then my pretty little square image. And the reason I do a square image is for roundups. Lots of places that do roundups prefer a square image. So I do that just to make it easy and kind of optimize it for square images. And I forgot my meta description. I'll come back in and do that in a minute. You also want to upload your images in this spot if you're using Yoast so that it pulls nicely into Facebook and Twitter for other people. It doesn't seem to help me very often, but it appears to help other people. So anyway, now I'll show you, like I said, how the Pinterest optimized image works. We'll just go in here to the preview of the post because obviously I'm not going to publish it tonight. I publish my things at 5 a.m. in the morning. So okay, once your site loads, and just give it just a second. My computer's just running so slow tonight. I don't know why. It was working fine before I started recording. So you're gonna hit the pin it button and see how pretty that big one is right there. And everybody's like, oh, it's got the text that everybody needs and all the beautiful pictures. So anyway, that's pretty much it. If you'd like, I can run through and do one more real quick.